We are back now, as we always do. I'm going to start off with the small stables. This isn't long, but I'm going to add some news on the broodmares. So, three things. First thing is we have Dewey Ann bred back to my MVP. Pretty excited about that. Beautiful little colt. I keep seeing pictures of him. Such a sweet little bugger. I haven't actually got down to see him. I should. Like, the track is, 5 minutes from Jeff's, I think. And if it's not, it's very, very close. So, had I been going to Georgian Downs tonight, I suppose I would have gone down and saw the babies a little earlier. But I'm doing videos, I'm doing a lot of other things, and I haven't got to that. So, let's talk about it. Broodmares, we have my MVP with our girl Dewey Ann. And then we've decided now, because I don't really have a reason not to, we've decided to go to the bank. Now, this is going to cost us a little bit of money. When we bred my MVP to the two mares, it was a 2-for-1 deal, so it was $4,000 for two of them, virtually $2,000 each. Now we're going to the bank, which is $4,500. The bank is the stallion, for those who don't know. The bank, $4,500, and Dewey Ann's my MVP breeding will be $4,000. So instead of $4,000, we're spending $8,500. But nevertheless, I can see the argument made for Stolen Dance, and, to be honest, as a trainer, I don't care. Just drop the horses off when they're yearling, and we'll break them and go with them. As far as it was that easy, everybody would have an algorithm and a way to breed the best horses, and Dewey Ann's a nice filly, and Stolen Dance a nice filly, but they both have their shortcomings, so let's see how that works out. Now, in regards to the other mare, I haven't really followed up much. I will start doing that this week. Real Heart, I believe her name is, and this is the mother of Blue Monk and Trafalgar. She has a Art Speak, which is Ontario now, Art Speak foal at her side, and she's to be bred back to McWicked, which is McCool. So we have the opportunity to buy this mare. I think we will buy this mare. Bob, one of our clients and somebody we do a lot of business with, is looking to get out of the broodmare business. He's only got a couple left. Him and Blair had a huge farm at one point because of a number of reasons. First off, the slots, and then a number of other things that went on. They just would rather not. So Bob has Real Heart. We have two mares. He has one. He's looking to sell her and keep a piece of her and be a bystander instead of an owner. Well, I guess he would be an owner, but a very small, much smaller owner. So we have the opportunity to buy the mare and foal for, I guess it works out to be about $220 a share plus taxes, which I think is pretty fair, all things considered. She'll be bred back to McWicked, and then we'll breed her again a few more times. So here's a mare that threw, you can chalk last week's Trafalgar finishing fifth up to me. Yeah, she was in a bad spot. Yeah, Jody, yeah, this, yeah, that. But at the end of the day, I'm driving her, and it's my fault. She was coming off just a raging mile in Georgian, 53 and 2, 27 and a piece on the end of it. But you're not going to bully horses at Mohawk like you do at Georgian sometimes, and that was my fault. So Trafalgar's had a very accomplished career, never missed a check, only been out of the top 3, maybe top 2 twice. Once was the other night. And she's by Dally. You look at Blue Monk, don't kid yourself. Blue Monk you haven't seen even remotely the best of yet. And he too is by a kind of a B-level sire at this point. And then we had the sports writer filly, who's a decent filly also. This mare has done a lot of good for the stable, and I believe we're going to have some fun with Real Heart. So it looks like we are going to move forward with the purchase of this mare and move forward with the purchase of the foal with her. And I think we'll probably just leave them at Winback. That's where they are, I believe, right now. I have to solidify that. But since we're breeding the mare to the stallion at Winback, going price for turnouts around $20 a day. You're looking at $600 plus. I'd have to work out the finer details. Obviously, Jeff does a great job with their horses in Barrie, both Dewey Ann and Stolen Dance. But we will see what we're doing. It means little to me whether she goes to Jeff's or goes to Winback. That will be up to the ownership group that owns her. So as of right now, I think within the next week, you're going to see us start putting shares of Real Heart up for sale. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure The asking price was $220 a share for the mare with the foal beside her, and then we will breed back. The mare to McWicken. So that is the broodmare section of this. I've combined them with the small barns today. We don't have that many horses out just yet. We do have a few. Olympic Hopeful and Maintenance Man are in Illinois. Olympic Hopeful qualified in 202, I believe 2 nights ago for Angie Coleman. Maintenance Man didn't get any money the other night, pace 53. I'd said to Angie, he's coming out morning line 25 to 1. Let's just find a spot where he can win. If that's a claimer, then it's a claimer, and if it's not, then it's not. But let's get him in where he can do some damage. I think Angie's going to do that this week. Richard Moreau has 2 horses for us now. Brave World, who was second in 52 the other day, and his newest addition is a filly that, quite simply, I can't keep going forward with in all good faith. I thought I was making gains with her. I thought we were on the right path, and then it all came crumbling down over the last 2 weeks, and I'm obviously talking about knockdown, drag out. This is a filly that I really thought, if anything, she would be overly quiet the other night, and instead she was a complete lunatic. If she doesn't make the break, honestly, we had a little bit of a tailwind. I truly believe I would have been up the quarter around 25-3 with her, and you just can't have that. We can't have her doing that. Richard has a small farm, a gated farm. He tows a lot of his horses. He keeps them very, very quiet. He's an experienced horseman. He employs Louis Philippois, Sylvain Filion, Dougie McNair. These are guys that are top of the heap, top of the driver's heap, so to speak, in Ontario also. If they can't get it done, nobody can. And I apologize. I really thought we would be able to get her under control. She trained down well. She qualified well. But when push came to shove, she just went back to her default, which is full-on lunatic. And hopefully Richard can silence those voices in her head. So now Richard Moreau has Knockdown, Dragout, and Brave World in his midst. Next, we have Tim. Tim's got 3 horses for us now. Forged in Fire, and I'll play it alone. We'll get to another little thing that is bothering me also. But let's get through this part first. Forged in Fire, back in to go. A little short his first start. He's back in to go this week. So is I'll Play It Alone. Now, Tim also is Stonebridge Simba. He was transferred into Jason's care after the race from Virgil Morgan. Jason looked at the condition sheet and said, do you really want to race this guy for $4,000 or $5,000 at Northfield? He can race for $10,000 2 hours up the road in the Meadows. He is a Pennsylvania bred. Makes sense. So Tim has Stonebridge Simba. Now, this leads me into a little something also. We have a number of horses that probably need to leave, right? Whether it be the pandemic or the time missed or the time we have right now in real time, they are not going to do us a ton of good. Forged in Fire, I'll Play It Alone are definitely on that list. I put Rose Run Versatile on the sale board on Gate the other day. I'll put her on the Standardbred Canada one tomorrow if I don't get any response from potential suitors. But some of these horses need to go. I mean, we know what they're going to do now. We know what they're capable of. We know where they can do and where they can't do. And a horse like Rose Run Versatile, there just wasn't a class to win with her. If anybody can tell me where I can win a race with Rose Run Versatile, who's not a bad horse, that's fine, but there's just not a class for her right now. I can't send her to race where Forged in Fire is racing. So at the end of the day, we have a number of horses that might do smaller barns some good, but they're not really going to do us a whole lot of good in the midst of us racing right now. So we have, this is a list that probably has 10 horses on it. I'll start rolling those out over the next couple of weeks. Forged in Fire will likely find his way on that list. I'll Play It Alone will likely find his way on the list. Rose Run Versatile has already found her way on the list. And there'll be other horses. So none of these horses should be a shock to anybody. Certainly not my partners on them. But we got to get moving. It's 2020. The stakes are about to start, or have started. And these horses probably do other people good, not us. So anyway, that's a little bit of a larger video to unpack. We have the smaller barns, the broodmares, and then some talk of some sales coming up. We'll see how Forged in Fire and I'll Play It Alone race this week. As I said, Rose Run Versatile has already been listed to sell, and there'll be some other horses joining her. So that is a small barn broodmare sale video. All done now. I'll be back in a second with the stables.